CLNS Media Patriots Roundtable. I'm your host, Nick Qualia, sitting here with my co-host, Mike Molyneux and Marv Zahn. And we have had a wild week. Free agency opened up, and it's literally just all been the Patriots. We knew that they had cap space, and there were reports a couple months ago now saying that the Patriots are going to be uncharacteristically aggressive, which for the Patriots in free agency, that means just signing a guy or two. That's all that means. Right? And they just decided to sign everybody. Except for their own linemen, which, okay, whatever. But David Andrews still could come back, but Joe Thuney's gone. Kind of expected that. But the question here today, and we talked about this a little before the show, you see all these signings coming. You see who the quarterback is. You don't know if this quarterback situation is going to stay the same or if it's going to change. But there is one man who is demanding a trade out of Houston. The Patriots really haven't seemed to be on the priority list for him. But with these moves, guys, is Deshaun Watson a legit option for the Patriots now? A legit option to be traded to the Patriots? Marv, let's start with you. What do you think?
Deshaun Watson is the number one target right now. And, Nick, you tweeted something about Bill Belichick, do Deshaun Watson next or something like that. What was my response? I would like to see it. I want them to go for it because look, you got all the groceries. Now you just need the chef. You need the chef to clean it all up and make it good. And that's who Deshaun Watson is. I mean, yes, you have Cam Newton there. But Deshaun Watson, we can all agree, is a better quarterback than Cam Newton right now. We all know if Deshaun Watson has a great team, he can lead you to a Super Bowl. He's that type of talent. And I know there's been reports out where he's already picked the teams where he wants to go to, and Patriots were never part of those options. But with the moves that the Patriots made, some may say they're making all of these moves just to get their quarterback, their future quarterback.
That was when N'Keal Harry was wide receiver too.
Right. I mean, you guys remember, we're all Boston fans. Celtics were trying to get KG for the longest time. They were always trying to get KG, but KG wanted no business with Boston Celtics. And then they made that trade to get Ray Allen. And then KG was like, well, you put me in there with Ray Allen and Paul Pierce, and it's not Gerald Green and Al Jefferson. Yeah, I think I like our chances. And then they were finally able to bring in KG. It's kind of similar now. Deshaun Watson wasn't looking at no New England Patriots, a 7-9 team that had probably one, if not the worst roster in the NFL last year. Now you can bring Deshaun Watson in with Bill Belichick with the pieces that they've added. It looks a lot more enticing. And plus, now you know everyone's going to talk about the money, right? How much money is Deshaun Watson going to do and all? Look, he's only going to be a $10 million cap hit. And what's that to Big Billy right now? That's nothing. Belichick is spending all the money in the world. If he's only going to be a $10 million cap hit for this year, you're probably going to have to give up 3 first rounds, maybe a couple third rounds and future third rounders. I say you do it with no hesitation at all. You bring in Deshaun Watson, and now you really have a Super Bowl contending team.
Right. So this season, it was 9.8 last year. This season, if this is right, it's a $10 million base salary. It's a $15 million cap hit. But this is what I worry about, because $50 million still, like you're right, with the way Bill's been spending money, price tag means nothing. do your thing. But the cap hit next year, so he's under contract until 2026 with a potential out in 2024. Cap hit next season, $40.4 million. The season after that?
But that's when you do the phantom reconstructing contracts that you see everybody doing right now.
The cap means nothing in the NFL.
You can play around with the cap now. You saw what Brady just did. Brady's playing till he's 60 the way he just did his contract. You can play around with the money.
Right. So that is what worries me. But honestly, you can do your thing with the cap, especially Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick has been manipulating that cap since I was in diapers. This guy, which he was here when I was like 7 years old, so I wasn't wearing diapers at that point, but you get the gist. Besides the point. I mean, listen, Deshaun Watson, man. You bring this guy in, 3 first-round picks, though. Mike, I'm going to ask you this, too. I'll just throw it over to you. 3 first-round picks. Do you think Bill Belichick makes that kind of move?
That's what it boils down to. I mean, yes, with all the moves that the Patriots have recently made, having a quarterback, a legit top 5 talent at the quarterback position in this league, Deshaun Watson would be huge, absolutely, positively, without a doubt. I don't think that's the argument. The argument is Belichick willing to give up everything that you guys both just listed? It's going to take a lot to pry Deshaun Watson. Well, maybe not a lot, because he doesn't want to be there. And at this point, it's just going to get turned into a very ugly situation with him in Houston. But Houston is adamant about them saying that he's their quarterback. That's our guy. They believe in him. And I don't get it, because everything from his side is, I want out of here. And then
he's not going to be there day one.
The GM, the coach, whatever. Every time they talk, they bring up the question about Deshaun Watson. That's our quarterback. That's your guy. We believe in him. He's our guy. We want him. So it's gonna get ugly. So it's gonna boil down to the fact that we all think he's not gonna be there, and eventually Houston's gonna say, okay, well, you don't want to be here. We get it. Any team that wants him, we'll give him to you, but we're gonna need a lot in return. So is Belichick willing to do that? In this current Belichick we're seeing right now, man, he's giving out turkeys on the side of the road like it's Thanksgiving dinner. The way he's bringing players to New England, it's beautiful to see. It's beautiful. Oh, you want to come to New England? You want some money? All right, come through. Oh, you want to play here? Here's some money. Come. He's bringing everybody on board, because this is a guy who does not want to be at the bottom of the NFL anymore. He got a taste of it in 2020, and I think this Bill Belichick is saying never again. So with all these pieces, is great. Deshaun Watson would definitely be the icing on the cake. The cake is there. You got it all made up. The icing on the cake would be Deshaun Watson. But how much is Belichick willing to spend? And I just don't think. Something tells me, and maybe just because this is the guy with the GM Belichick we've been used to seeing over the years, the guy who's claimed that they'd have money to work with and all this other things. Something just tells me he's not willing to give up the amount that would probably cost for Deshaun Watson to be pried away from Houston. It'd be great, but I don't know if Belichick is willing to do that much and give up that many draft picks to get Deshaun Watson away from Houston.
See, I think he might. And not for the record next season, not for a Super Bowl next season, but because Tampa Bay is coming to Gillette next year. To me, that's all this is about.
That's their Super Bowl?
This guy's building a roster for 1 game, 1 week, and it's to smoke Tom Brady in Tampa Bay when they come to Gillette Stadium. You think he's going to let Tom Brady in Tampa, after winning a Super Bowl, after the year, he went 7-9 year 1 without Tom Brady. Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl. He's not going to let Tom walk into Gillette next year and beat him, or at least smoke him. He's building a hell of a team.
I tell you,
sorry, what?
If players think Belichick was a hard ass before, oh God.
He's not going to leave Gillette Stadium the week that Tampa Bay is coming to town. He's sleeping there that entire week. He's going to prepare. He's going to be in the war room. Now, contract-wise, they're saving a lot of cap room for something, because you got Jonnu Smith and you got Judon, right? I don't even know. I've been told 3 or 4 times how to pronounce his name, and I just keep on forgetting because I'm an idiot. Is it Matt Judon? Is that how you say it?
That's how I've heard it.
Okay, so I'm going to go with that. Both of their contracts in year 1, do you know how much money they're making? $1 million each. They're each only making $1 million in year 1 of their contracts. They're saving money. They're creating cap room. And I have a feeling, I think that it's for a big move coming down the line. Because, Mike, like you said, Deshaun Watson would be the icing on the cake. Right now, you just got a cake. Right now, you just got the crappy part of the cake. You need the icing on the cake. and Bill is not going to go 7-9 again. They're doing 17 games next year, right? So maybe whatever that record would come out to be. I'm not good at math. I think Deshaun Watson's a legit option, and you're right. The question is Bill going to be willing to give up that kind of collateral to get him? And it might come down to this. So there are reports now. So Jimmy Stewart, actually, in Felgram Maz, I heard this on the way over. He believes, as he says, he's got some pretty good sources, that it's coming down to Carolina and Denver. But he also now believes that it's coming down to Carolina, Denver, and New England. And let's say Deshaun Watson says, I'm only going to go play for the Patriots. What kind of leverage does that give to Houston? He's got a no-trade clause, and he's not playing for you. It could potentially bring the price down. I think that's very interesting. I think that's interesting to keep note of. There's a lot of weird moving parts here.
Isn't Houston's GM a former Patriot something?
You mean Nick Caserio? Listen. Just imagine if Nick Caserio traded Deshaun Watson to the Patriots. Investigation immediately in the NFL.
Hey, man, if the Celtics in Minnesota could get away with it for that Garnett trade, Patriots in the Texans.
Yeah, but this is Bill Belichick.
Somebody said that. Somebody said on Twitter, Nick Caserio was holding on to the credit card all these years. And now that he's gone, they're finally being able to spend.
I'm telling you, this is all part of Bill Belichick's plan. He's been waiting to see Deshaun Watson get upset in Houston. He didn't let Caserio go a couple years ago to Houston. This year he did. He saw the writing on the wall. He said, Caserio, you go down to Houston and you give me Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson.
We'll take Jackson too.
Bring Deshaun Jackson too. Bring the whole party. Bring everybody. Bring every player here. That's what's happening. I'm telling you, I really do think Deshaun Watson is becoming a legit option. 2 days ago, did not believe that. After everything that's happened, I'm buying into it.